illustrious nobles, welcome. Join us as we embark on a journey into the heart of chivalry, of bold knights, of elegant horses, and the quest for a champion. The hundreds of knights in service to the Queen boldly petitioned Her Majesty to hold a great tournament in order to find one who will stand as protector of the realm and defender of the throne. A warrior who wears the crest of the Queen, and in all things, the bringer of the Queen's grace, or the instrument of the Queen's justice. Oh, Yellow Knight! Unchain the gates and welcome Dalmau of Oriente, the Blue Knight! Look ever west, hurry up, brave Santa Rue, the Black and White Knight! I give to you now, Lord Delphont, the Red and Yellow Knight! Behold, the young lion, Daroche, the Red Knight! Be then written, shall it be joy, or lament for the champion of their own
Yellow.
Knight? She bears the scepter and wears the crown in the company of her royal household and those chosen to serve you this day. I present her host, Her Sovereign Majesty, Dona Maria Isabella!
Your Majesty, may I present to you the finest, bravest, and most renowned champions in the realm?
My lord, we are most pleased to host this celebration, and I thank you all for inviting the nobles from near and far to join us. Your petition surprised and delighted me, for the crown has been without a champion since the passing of my fallen king. Good captains, take your leave. Our guests await the entertainment and the feast. To honor!
To honor! To glory!
To glory! To chivalry!
To chivalry! To victory!
To victory! And to the knights of the realm.
Cheers! We begin with Insolente, the fearless mount of Prince Carlos in the Battle of Bosque Blanco, where he carried the prince to victory and fame. I present to you Capitan, the sire of countless champions who even now grace the castles of kings and queens throughout the world. Performing for you the Victory March, celebrated by returning heroes, the Spanish Walk. All hail Gallant! legendary sons of our slave, who is renowned as the pride of the Emperor of the East. Mightiest of the Queen's legendary stable, namesake of the mythic Titan who is doomed to uphold the sky, comes Atlas! As the peal of thunder will ring in the mountains, so will the rumor of the approach of Atlas on the field strike fear and awe into the heart of the enemy. My lords, my ladies, they salute you all.
Of great indeed, and prized among them is Lady Myra. Many women held the master ranks, and I stalked the great forest on the hunt. Falcons on our fists, and an ancient ceremony that dates back to time forgotten. Have him bring her forward.
With the winged hunter upon his fist, it is my honor to present Don Antonio, Her Majesty's Master Falconer.
we are going to anchor to champion. Yes, the dangers of the escape me pause, but with great concern do I watch as my greatest and most skilled in arms put life and limb in Mary's way.
Yeah, the nobles of their houses, my queen, bred for war and accustomed to the dangers of battle. Be it here or on some distant shore. Let us assuage your fears, good queen.
Who shall claim the first challenge? Your courage shall be measured, my lords, as the test begins. Lower your lances to seal the challenge. My lords, you will meet on horseback and wield the lance. The victor will select a weapon of his choice. Take your places. Let us now test the mettle of the Yellow Knight. To answer his challenge, the Green Knight. My Lord of Leon, you may find glory this day, but only if you defeat this noble veteran. Take your places, my lords. The trumpets will call, and you shall answer. Press lances, my lords.
So let the nobles see their champions cower in shame at the feet of their captors?
I am sure the nobles would prefer a return of their champion vanquished and yet alive, as opposed to a heroic but pointless death.
There is one way to be sure. Leave this to the hands of your guests. My lords, my ladies, would you see combat to the death?
I question several ignorance, because we come out among so much the reason is asked. Yet, my guests have made their choice known. But, no mortal wager was here made. The Green Knight shall not be slain so. You fall crazy, my lord, and are to be counted no less than the greatest of your house. My physician will attend you anon.
Well said, my queen.
And you, my lord of Navarre, tainted though your victory may be, it lies not with I to withhold grace from one so skilled. Rise, my lord, amid the cheers of your kingdom.
Let all tales of this day dwell upon the moment when two titans, mighty in skill, lent themselves in full labor to the gods of war. Take your places.
Okay, well, that was a great tournament. We didn't have time to really go over and review the food or even shoot it because, well, at least for me, it was pretty crazy. We went into the arena when they let us in. I went over to grab my seat to make sure I was able to get a good one. Then I went over to his side, set up the GoPro camera. And by the time I did that, the tournament already started. So sorry that my Canon I'm shooting this on wasn't recording for a while. That's because I had to get back to my seat, but then I couldn't find my seat. Then I sat somewhere else, and they're like, oh, you can't sit there. So I had to go back up, and I finally found my seat. And then I had to take out my GoPro and the SLR before I even can start shooting. And, of course, like I said, the show is already going, which was interesting. So... But you see, whenever I was recording with the Canon, I used that because it was a much better shot, much better audio. But the GoPro cameras are good because if something's happening over here and then something's happening over here, I can't really whip around. And it's good to get a nice wide perspective as well. And the good thing I didn't even think about was the wonderful servers who are walking around and have no choice but to walk in front of us. If there was somebody walking in front of my cameras, I just cut to his camera. So that worked out pretty well. I was just thinking about getting coverage, but that was pretty cool as well. So I did not realize that everybody gets served the same dinner, which is a pretty agreeable menu. Something that most people, now they do, before they serve you, they will come around and ask you if you have any dietary restrictions. So I'm not sure what they would serve you if you have any special requests.
I have a list here, by the way.
Okay, so for us, it was chicken dinner, potatoes, if there was some sort of... Oh, first it was like a really really liquidy soup. It was almost like a juice. Not that it was bad. It was just very liquid.
Well, it's garlic bread with tomato bisque soup, and tomato bisque is always like that. It's
Apparently, you're supposed to pick up the bowl and drink it.
Yeah.
I didn't. That didn't even occur to me. But I was I was wrestling with a new tripod that turned out to be not the best.
And you can also dip your garlic bread into the soup if you like. That soaks up a lot of it.
See, I thought that was the only way you're supposed to. We forgot to mention you do not get utensils with the meal, with one exception we'll get to.
It's always your hands. So the regular dinner is garlic bread with tomato bisque soup.
That's a starter.
Roasted chicken. That's the main course.
Right.
Sweet butter corn and
the corn.
herb-based potatoes.
Herb.
Yeah, herb-based potatoes. Then the dessert of the castle. If you like, you can have coffee and soda.
And they serve Pepsi.
Yeah.
Stella, calm down.
I think it was water if you wanted to.
Water or soda.
Yeah.
Stella, calm down.
Now, if you are a vegetarian, there's also that option for you. It's hummus with pita bread, carrot and celery sticks, a 3-bean stew with fire-roasted tomatoes, brown rice, and then for dessert is fresh fruit.
Oh.
Or the dessert of the castle, which is ice cream, coffee and soda.
So it sounds to me like either way, either meal, you're going to get a really good meal. And you enjoyed yours more than I did because my hands were constantly on a camera.
Yeah.
I enjoyed what I had of it, but yeah, I ended up going handheld because that new tripod I bought. So I found the potato I had to be a little salty. You said yours was fine.
Yeah, so it might have been a different batch, or maybe I'm just used to that style of cooking. I'm not sure.
I guess. I, unlike most Americans, don't like salt. I don't like the taste of salt. I think it's disgusting.
I'm not a big fan of salt, but I don't.
A tiny hint every once in a while is okay, but
yeah.
When I go to McDonald's, I get my fries special order. They don't add salt to it, and there's just like a little bit of residual salt from the fries that they put the fries on top of, and like that's enough.
Yeah.
So now for the review of the show itself, and we really liked it. We didn't know what to expect. It's much longer than we thought. At least I thought it was going to be. I probably should have done some research and watched other people's videos. And really, I should have gone there and paid and gone myself with just my camera or just set up a GoPro and recorded it. And then I could have gone back and watched the video and been a little more strategic about how I shot it. And but it was a little craziness, but very, very good. A lot of variety of things. It wasn't just the joust.
Yeah.
There's some dressage, which I'm not a fan of, but you saw it, so I'm not going to go over everything. You just watched it.
But the concept is that the queen is holding a tournament of knights.
Yeah, they really do explain it in the beginning.
Yeah. We're not sure if it's a different story every time or if there's like a couple stories that they do, but all the knights and the performers did wonderfully.
Yes.
There's a little story going on, like all the knights are from a different land or country.
Yeah. It is pretty amazing that everybody walks in neutral and they give you a color and everyone's like, boo!
Yeah.
Blue, red, black and white. Ew!
Well, blue, red, and yellow. Ooh.
And it's a little bit of a sad commentary on how quickly people can turn on each other. But,
Yeah.
But I have to believe that it's all in jest, and I want to believe that it's just people are just going along with the theme.
Yeah.
As if they were from those areas. But
you're supposed to cheer whatever section you're in. Like I was in black and white, I'm supposed to cheer for the black and white knight.
And then I was in yellow and red, and you could see there's clearly different areas, and that's why there are different color knights as you see in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
And So, you have anything more about the show itself?
Just I kind of liked there's a section of banter between the Queen, the announcer, I forget his actual title. It's he's a lord of something, and the Chancellor. The Chancellor's from his area. No, actually he's Yellow Knight's area.
Oh yeah.
And he was suggesting something, and
You talking about the oranges?
yes, later when he's talking about something, and then he's talking to the Lord Announcer, and he's like, well, if the Chancellor
Hi, Stella.
is questioning my skill, he need only come down from his little perch and lift a sword. And he's like, oh, maybe not. Oh. And I liked that. And I like how everyone's got like a defined character and like a backstory and things that they want. So yeah, I like the show.
Yep. So, okay, so then if you do go to Medieval Times, and this is just the one in Orlando, or really it's Kissimmee, there are many other castles around the country. I don't know. I think there might be some out of the country, maybe in Canada, but if not, just go to the website, like I should have before I stated that. There is, at least in the one here in Florida, a village that you should also go to. Plan to get there early before the show starts and walk around the village. There's some authentic props and clothing and things like that.
Yeah.
You'll see in another video I post. But if you have young ones or people who are sensitive, be careful about the torture chamber, because there are some messed up contraptions there that are, I mean, it's a torture chamber, but it gets medieval in there.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. It might not be suitable for some children and some adults.
Yeah. So if that kind of thing bothers you, you can just zoom through that section.
But you don't have to skip it. I just I want you to be aware, and you can decide for yourself.
Now, history buffs and just people who are into this, the village is actually very cool.
Yeah.
The torture chamber section explains what every device did or what was for, and so like if you're a history buff, if you're into medieval era stuff, definitely check that out, because that's worth the time.
And sometimes there are some people in there who will talk with you and answer questions and stuff like that. So thank you very much to Medieval Times for having us out.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And sorry for everybody that this wasn't out in March when we went, but March was crazy for me, and as you saw, it was a very complicated edit because there's a lot of clips that I had to line up and then cut down. And I had to balance to make sure that I didn't show too much of the show, because we want you to go if you can. And anything else from you?
No, just thank you again to Medieval Times for letting us come in, letting us shoot. Thank you for, if any of the servers or the performers end up watching us, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. If you're looking for just, like something to do in Central Florida that isn't theme parks, but, there's a lot of dinner and shows around here.
Yes.
Give Medieval Times a try. It's really good food.
It's fairly close to Disney.
Yeah.
And it's not far from Universal or SeaWorld.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering if it's worth the upgrade charge to get the I believe it's the Royal Court or any of the VIP lanyard tickets, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Also, if you have a kid or an adult or a big kid like this one who has a birthday, I decided to cut that out of the video just because I didn't want everyone announce in YouTube to hear the kids' names.
Yeah.
But they'll stand up there in that little area with the throne, and we'll announce anniversaries, birthdays, things like that.
Yeah,
So,
which is cool, and it's fun for guests.
Yeah.
I remember my mom used to always
Bye.
have a local bank, say "Happy Birthday, Brian" on it, which was fun for me.
Yep.
Everyone else was like, "Who's Brian?"
Who's Brian? She says.
Yeah.
So, that's our review of the food. That's our review of the show and the village. And there's a lot to see there. If you don't see it all the first time, you can go back and just at least go to the village. But having said all that, thanks for watching this video all the way through, and please exit through ye old gift shop.
Cool.
Speaking of the shop, you should visit this right here. It's the gift shop.
Push this button.
Why are there buttons on me? There's a button on you.
Oh no!
What do we do?
We may as well push it.
How well? Push it okay or like real good?
Push it good.